Hello and welcome to video tutorial series of Microsoft Test Manager by One Test Solution. In part 1, we will learn how to create and configure test plan in Microsoft Test Manager. There are 7 topics that we are going to cover in this particular video. First, we'll try to understand what is a test plan and what is the importance of it as far as the software testing goes. Then we'll see how to create a new test plan. Then we'll see how to set the properties of a test plan, how to apply configure test settings, associating test plan to area path and iteration, assigning build to a test plan, and managing and creating test configuration for test plan. In order to go ahead and get started, we'll launch MTM and you will see this particular window the moment you will try to connect with your MTM. This is the same window that comes while connecting to TFS. So I will select my team project and click on connect now. In this testing center pop-up menu, pop-up window, we will see all the existing test plans. Let's say if I want to connect to an existing test plan, I can go and select and click on this select plan button. But I want to create a new test plan. In order to create a new test plan, go and click on add. Here we have to specify 3 things. 1. What is the name of the test plan? What area path it belongs to? And what is the iteration? So I'm going to name this plan as demo test plan, and I will select the area path as one test team project. If you have multiple area path which are available in your TFS, then you will see all that being populated here, but right now I have just one, so that's why this is the one which is selected as default. And you have to select the iteration. So I will go and select iteration as phase 2 and click on add. And the moment you clicked on add, you will see a new test plan has been created, demo test plan. Now I will select this and click on select plan. Okay, ignore that error. It was coming because I didn't save my previous plan. Okay, now here you will see 4 tabs on the top. One is plan, other one is test, track, and organize. In this particular video, we are going to focus on the first tab, that is plan. Second one, test. Test tab is going to be used when we will do the test execution and test case designing. Then tracking is used for the execution results, and organize if we need to modify our existing test plans. So let's ignore all these options for now and we'll focus on plan. In plan tab, you will see 4 links here. One is contents, results, properties, and run settings. Contents link is the default one which will remain open, and here you will see all the contents which are associated to that particular test plan. Right now we have 0 test cases, so that's why we see count of test 0, and the type of suite is static suite. But we'll ignore this suite and test cases that we will see in the next video. Okay, so another tab is called as results. Another link is results. Results link again comes into picture when we talk about the test execution. So again, for this video, it's out of scope because we are going to focus only on setting and configuring my test plan. Next one is properties. So I'll click on properties, and here we have to specify some of the details. First, if I need to, let's say I need to rename my test plan name that I created when at the first step. If I need to rename it, I can do that, but I will let it be as it is. And in the summary, I will write some description. So I will write phase 2. Okay, and here we can specify the state as active or inactive. So I will let it be active as by default. Then here, if we want to change the area and iteration, we can do that. So I will let it be default or the one that we selected initially. Then here we need to specify what is the start date of my test plan and what is the end date. If we want to change, let's say I want to start my test plan from 27, so I will select 27, and I want to finish my end plan on 5th. So I selected this. Now, if we need to associate any attachment to my test plan, I can do that. So in order to do that, I will click on attachment and I will click on this tab, this button, and I can browse and attach that document, whatever I want. MTM provides an option to link any existing item to my test plan. So using this particular option, click on links, go to link to, and you can actually browse and search for the item that you want to associate to. These items may be your user story, or maybe the product backlog item. Okay, so I will click on cancel. Now the next tab that comes is run settings. This is very important. Okay, under run settings, there are two type of settings which are available. One is the manual runs and one is automated runs. So today we will focus on manual run. Inside manual run, you will see a drop down for test settings. This drop down populates all the available settings that a user can use. But if we want, we can go ahead and create our own test setting. In order to do that, click on this drop down and select new. I have to give the name of my test setting. So I will, let's say, demo setting. Okay, and we need to specify description if required. So this is a demo setting to learn test plan configuration. And here we will get an option to select what type of test we want this setting for. So if I want for automation, I can select automated. For now, I will let it be manual, and then I will click on next. Next option is roles. Now here we can specify which machine we want to execute our test. We have an option to execute it on local, and if we want to execute on remote machine, we can do that. For now, I will go ahead and select local machine. Then I will click on next. The third tab, that is data and diagnostic tab, which is in fact very important from the test execution point of view. In this, you will see multiple data adapters here, like action log, ASP.NET client proxy, code coverage. These are the data adapters that provides a lot of valuable information at the time of test execution. So we'll try to understand what are these options for. First one is action log. As a name specifies, it is self-understood. It records or captures the actions. Okay. For example, if uh, let's say we are performing some keyboard and mouse actions, and I want to use the same data in my next run, and I don't want to perform operation on. So this particular data adapter can provide us those information. And it is really helpful in terms of playback actions. Now, if I want to configure this, I can go and click on this configure. In this particular window, you will see these are some of the applications that I don't want to record to. Let's say I am testing my application and one of my colleague sends me an email, and I don't want, of course, that to be recorded. So these are some of the applications that it will ignore from our test execution. Also, we can override our recording settings. Let's say I want to introduce more delay. Default delay is 10 seconds. I want to override it. So I will select this option. I will check this box and I can increase it. So I will go at this point with the default option. I didn't change anything, so I will click on don't save. The next option, or the data adapter, is ASP.NET Client Proxy for IntelliTrace and Test Impact. This option is used to basically capture or collect the test impacted data actually, for which lines of code, or maybe let's say I want to capture the test impacted areas. Okay, and I need to know which line of code has issues or the bug encountered. So I can enable this option. Now what will happen is, by enabling this option, let's say tomorrow a developer made some change on those functionalities, so we can be notified, or we can understand, okay, these are the areas that these are the impacted areas for which re-execution has to be done. This option is actually very helpful for web-based applications, and especially ASP.NET in fact. Okay, and one thing which is very important, if we enable this option, it should be enabled to any machine which is making a call to a web server. Okay, that always remember. Now second one, the next data adapter is code coverage. It provides code coverage. It provides actually data for the code coverage of ASP.NET application which is running on IIS server. Next one is event log. This particular data adapter is actually very useful at the time of root cause analysis. Let's say we are doing test execution, we found some defect and we have to notify our developer. Usually what we do, usually we send steps to reproduce and also screenshots, but those may not be sufficient because there are multiple exceptions that comes in the server side or in the server logs, and screenshot doesn't captures it, and neither the steps to reproduce may capture that. But if we enable this option, it will help to provide lot of information for our developers to do the root cause analysis for our test runs. Another option is screen and voice recorder. Let's say we want to record our actions or the screenshots, we can enable this option by default. It will by default, then MTM will provide screenshots. Then system information. This data adapter is used to collect system information for a machine, like operating system, environment, and all that. So by default, we will see two options selected. One is action log, another one is system information. what I will do is I will go in and enable few more options. I will enable event log and I will enable screen and voice recorder. Okay, then I will click on next. In the summary screen, we will see what all options or the data adapters we have selected. Then I will click on finish. Okay, so my test setting, that is demo setting, which is a new setting that we created, it's been set here. Now next thing is I have to select a build. So I will click on this drop down. It will populate me all the available builds that I have. So this is the only build that we have right now. So I will select coded UI training build 1, set build, and then I have to specify the build in use. So click on this modify. Okay, it's asking to save the plan first. So let's save it. Okay. Then you will see as soon as we hit save, we will see available build drop down here. So here, whatever the builds are available, we can select off out of those. So let me select this build and I will click on assign to a plan. Now this particular build is being assigned to our plan that we created. Okay, so let me close this. Okay, that's done. Now next thing is configuration. Configuration option is used to configure the test environment for my test case. Let's say I want to do an execution on multiple browsers on a different operating systems. So those configurations we can create here. Now let me go and click on this drop down. I see these are the 3 configurations available right now for me to associate to a test plan. Let's say I don't want any of these configuration. I want to create my own configuration. So I will click on manage, and first okay, so there are 2 things comes into picture. Okay, in this test configuration manager, first let me go and create my own test configuration. So I will write here configuration for my demo test plan that we created, right? Test plan, and we need to write the description. So I will go and write the same demo test plan. Okay, and then I will go and choose the configuration variables. Now these configuration variables are those which these are 2 will be available by default. One is operating system and browser, and then we can go and create more configuration variables if we want. Let's say language is not the default one. This is the one that I created. So I will go and use the default options first. So I am going to select all these options, and operating systems I will click on select this Windows 7, and browser, let's say I want to click on 11. Okay, and I will save this. Let's say I want to do my execution on an operating system which is not available here. These are the default, right? Mac is also not default. Mac is the user defined that I created. That's why it's populating here. So let's try to understand if I need to have my own operating system which is not available in this list. So how we can do that? So these things that we see here, language, operating system, browser, these are the configuration variable. So we will go and create a configuration variable. In order to do that, exit from this window, so save and close, and then click on this manage configuration variable. Now if you want to add new configuration variable, I will write here maybe let's say I want to do my, say, time zone. Time zone is a new test, a new configuration variable that I want to create. And here I have to provide a description, time zone for test execution. And what are these values, allowed values for this? So it will be ist, click on enter if you want to add more, pst, cst, and est. Okay, and then I will click on save. This is the save button. But before going and saving this, let's say I want to add another browser. I want to add Firefox 11. So I can go and add it here, Firefox 11. Save variables. Now if I go in my this plan, in this setting, configuration demo test plan, now here I will see one more option called as time zone, and I can select which time zone I want to do my test execution. Let's say I want to do in Pacific time, PST. Earlier Firefox browser was not there, Firefox 11 was not there. Let's say I want to do my execution of Firefox 11. So I will see now here it's okay, and save and close. So that's how we can create our own test configurations. If we want to manage configuration variable, we can do using this option. Okay, now it's done. Let's close it. And again, we'll come to this configuration option. And now here we will see the configuration that we have created. One test plan can be associated to multiple configurations. Okay, let's say this demo test plan, I want to execute using configuration, this one, configuration demo test plan. I can say apply. If I want to you use multiple configuration for this test plan, that also I can do. I will go and select multiple options here. Let's say these 3 options. See, all these things we'll see here. Okay, so that's how that's how we can configure test plans.